And just like that.
And just like that.
What's good, my boys? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Good.
Wonderful.
We are back, people. Another wonderful episode. We're not gonna sit here and bullshit this time. We're gonna get straight to it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 113 of Stats and Facts. I am your host.
Cloudy McCloudston. You got something in
Call
your
at her.
throat?
Call at her.
You got something in your throat?
I am your host, Drewski Wilski, the bald and bearded one. And I'm here with a few. Look at E. That's court vision right there. That's court vision. He looked at me like, is you about to pass me the ball? And I gave him a little shoulder like, nigga, go on to the corner. Just get in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Get in the corner. I might, you know what I'm saying? Just ISO real quick. Here with some good gentlemen and a family. Here with my family. I'll always be with my family.
Your family.
I thought about that this week as I was, having that black man thinking time that I like to have. And I was like, damn. I be telling my girl too, like, man, we be on kids' time a lot. You ever think about that as a parent? Like how much?
Schedule.
No. Like your setting. It's like not that you want to go crazy and say like overtly weird shit or out of bounds shit, but it's just like you're always conscious. You're always conscious, or you're always having to be conscious of what you're saying due to who's around you.
What's on the
But just think about that. Hey, and you know what that goes to? Shout out to the parents that be there for their kids, and that always have to. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of parents. I guess shout out to them too, cause I'm lightweight jealous.
Shout out to
I'm just the parents that don't have to. That don't be with
have to do it?
that don't be with their kids.
Y'all in between that right now.
What? Well, no, don't. No. What you mean?
I'm in between. Like, I got half the time, I got to do what you doing. I got to be on, conscious of what I'm saying.
Half the time is more closer to all the time. Like, all the time is a little overbearing. You know what I'm saying? And it get to a point you be like, damn. Like, I really be saying it out loud. I be like, yo, like, I need like a weekend, you know what I'm saying? Like last weekend, me and my lady, we went to the Browns game. That was awesome. The Browns suck too. I'm gonna say that.
Hey man, it is what it is.
Hey, and my homie Dante Jones hit me up. Shout out to Dante Jones, man. He been hitting me up with good news. He been hitting me up with good news in his life and things like that. But he hit me up and he said something that resonated with me just about 30 minutes ago, right when y'all got here. He said, man, I think I detached myself from the Browns. And I was like, damn. And you know what? It happened Sunday when I went to that game because I was so into the game. The lady next to me kept getting up. She got up like 17 times, and that is equal to the amount of times I dropped my phone. Like I literally kept putting my phone back right in my lap and just standing up. Every time she walked past, and to the point where she was coming back from the bathroom and she said, I dropped it again. She's like, you're going to break that phone. And I was like, bitch. You're the reason.
Yeah, like stop walking past me then. You worried about my phone?
Oh man. But yeah, it was a good experience. You know what I'm saying? Going to Allegiant and watching my Browns play. You know what I'm saying? I just they suck. They suck. So we're not gonna go sit here and. But I am closer to like just kind of like being a little bit interested in the Texans. Like my fandom may be up for grab.
Yeah. Just to jump in for a quick second, how you think it feel being? Well, I know the Browns is there too, and Cleveland is there as a whole there too, unless you count Ohio State. But
I'm just talking about the Browns. Only talking about the Browns.
No, I'm just saying like
okay.
'cause I was getting ready to say, being a New Yorker, being a fan of all the New York teams, like man. The Yankees do their thing, so you can always count on them to always try to do their thing. But the Knicks, come on, man. At least the Giants did it in my lifetime twice.
Yeah, you're okay.
The Knicks
You don't have you.
in my lifetime
You
never happened.
You're good.
Yeah.
But also the thing is,
But
and Knicks fans are different too. It's like I think the world wants good things to happen for the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? I honestly do. Like I'm like a person that is not from that region or nowhere over there, but I think people deep down in their hearts root for the Knicks, just like they root for the Mets. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So
you always have your diehard fans, but the thing is you know, I get where you at, and it's like, you know, that's the reason why, you know, I know y'all get on me because I'm like, oh man, he be having like double teams, and he always rooting for a different team. I'm like, yo, at the end of the day,
No,
it's
you-
either where I'm from or
Yeah.
where I'm at.
I feel you.
But right now,
And I'm not about to pick up the Raiders, so y'all can cancel Christmas on that. We were last week we did our pod. Y'all watched it, like 250 of y'all. Thank you to everybody that watched that podcast. That was awesome. I really appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? If you're not subscribed to us, hit the like button, hit subscribe. If the notifications bother you, I feel you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm a person that just pops up in people's lives at the right time. So, you know, if you cancel the notifications, it's cool because you're still gonna hear us. But we had a great conversation off mic. That conversation off mic was great. It was like it was either gonna be Kumbaya or Street Fighter. Cause boy, it was so interesting. Now, I'm not asking you to down that hill. Do you want to recant? Well, you want to pick up like where we was in that conversation, or do you want to just kind of we can just kind of slide into this kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, to be honest, we segued so many times.
We segued so many times, but I want to start with because we were really talking about how what's going on right now is affecting the music industry, right? And then we really sat back, and then out of nowhere, I said in the last episode, I said, "Damn, I think the industry as we know it is dying." You know what I'm saying? And it's like people that really appreciate football. Like the game of football, it is not the same. Like the dudes that are 25 years senior to us, like they mad because they won't let niggas twist niggas' heads around no more. You know what I'm saying?
Facts, yeah.
So to them, I know we talked about that. To them, the game is it's like watching Pee Wee. You know what I'm saying? Everybody helmet bigger than their body. You know what I'm saying? Niggas out there looking, they just look funny.
Yeah.
But for me, it's still the same game. Now the music industry, this is something I would say between right now and let's go back to maybe 2020. Right before the pandemic, maybe 18-ish. But in this last 6 years, a lot of things have, like, changed. Mm-hmm. And the question that I want to pose on this episode is, what is the stream worth? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now your album sales, do your album sales carry you in today? Or is it, or are we looking to just have somebody play a song a million times, let me get that single going a gazillion times, or are we looking to sell albums?
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts from the panel?
It seems like it's a new world. It's a whole new game, and it's within it. It's like we're losing everybody who was a part of that old world, and it's being exchanged for a whole new product. I always think about Vegas when so many people come here. They still have the old school idea of Vegas is gambling, and occasionally I'll get somebody who says like, "Oh, it's so much more to do here," and it's like, "Oh yeah, you haven't noticed what's happening here, but if you're from here, you know that the city is just about the word fun, no matter how you spell it."
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
we have it here,
Right.
so it's like now the entertainment world is switching over into a whole different thing than I think we were so used to the cookie cutter world of we're presented with a product on stage and that world also protects that person's life that's not that off stage. Whereas now
Artie,
everything is blended.
do you think that that the phones and the social media, that's what it was, Tony. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You can check that again. I had something right here that was not right.
There's only one ear.
And it was gonna solve your issue that you was having. But we can look and just see how things are literally just changing. You see what I'm saying? Like we're in I see the meme all the time that we are in a generation that we're a part of, that we played Nintendo and we're on Instagram. You see what I'm saying?
We played outside and
Yeah.
learned.
Oh man, that is a
Outside.
let's talk about that.
But hold on, let me.
Go ahead. You can, because I was about to segue, because that was a really that's another thing I had time thinking about this week.
So this is gonna feed into the segue, but I think y'all really hitting on a point, and I'm gonna touch on the point that y'all was hitting, and go back to your initial question, which is the thing is Tony said something that was key, which was the premise of what was trying to be accomplished from the beginning. It's still at the end of the day, it's still the same thing. Like he said, the key or the premise of Vegas, people coming to Vegas was here to have fun, and fun at the time was all gambling. Nowadays, they're switching. They're dipping into different venues. They're making it more family friendly. They starting to do shopping. They switching up all these things, but at the end of the day, it's still about coming to Vegas and having fun. Now, you move that into your question about music, and is selling an album the same thing as people streaming? At the end of the day, the artist's goal, the producer's goal, all of their goals, the record label's goal is still the same, but everything is evolving. So how do we adapt to this evolving world that we're living in, but still accomplish the same goal? And that's the reason why where it used to be, all right, all we had to do is get somebody, we promote the music and get them to buy these albums. These albums cost a certain amount. People ain't buying albums no more. So how can we make the revenue that these artists are getting through streams and everything else equal an album? So
Yeah, because when they put the album right there, they put the whole album in front of me. That's a great segue into the question I want to ask. What is the last album that you bought digitally, or even have you bought any albums digitally?
It was a long time. Like, it was a long time ago.
iTunes days.
Yeah.
I remember when I first got here, and I've been here since 2011.
One Republic.
Have you bought
I ain't gonna hold you, man.
any? Just one.
Like I said, man, I ain't bought an album in decades. You know, I ain't gonna hold you, man. Like, ever since, I ain't gonna hold you. Yo. You call me sleazy, call me a slime ball, say whatever you want, yo. Ever since Napster, the days of me buying an album was done.
Hey, we are from that era where our access to music got weirdly easy. And I remember when we had the LimeWire popping at the crib. Remember? Rest in peace to Chris. When he found out we had the internet, remember? And he was like, oh, he could bring in his CDs. And it was like they didn't have the internet at his house, but he was bringing it over, and it was like, yo, it was like you look around like, yo, so you mean I can get the new Gucci Man? Like, I gotta wait like 42 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you burn the CD, but
all you needed was an MP3 player. Man.
Oh man!
What that means now is that instead of artists,
I was talking about burning CDs, but go ahead, Tom.
instead of the artist's album being the thing that generates money for them, now it is their literal whole life. They have to use their off time, their work time, They have to be up now instead of like where are you getting the money from now? It's the brand. Now you have to become a brand. You have to become Kellogg's, and you got to put your daggone Frosted Flake emblem on everything
Exactly.
you can think of. Because
you
now
actually-
you're
Hey,
not just selling
real quick before we move on, I just want to hit the beautiful drops.
You a fat Faison lie.
Yeah, what to do, man?
Hit the drops before we get it going. Shout out to Lil Leland. But yes, that is it. Like you gotta do that. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like all of that's the same, man. I feel like you had to do all of that.
So right. So we seeing
involved.
what we're seeing executives, and I always like think about the business stuff in the realm of how I approach this podcast. Okay, I created this. I thought about it on the couch one day. August 12th, 2020 was the very first episode with me and him. And I had no idea what we was doing, and neither did he. But it grew and it grew and it grew, and it's like now it's at a point where now I have to start respecting it. So as a person that is in the music industry, it's like, well, what spot do I get to the people is gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like with things like we was gonna do. Shout out to Palm Pizza. It's the greatest pizza in this neighborhood. This 5-block radius over here. Shout out to them. What can we do? You know what I'm saying? To move that. So that artist that's sitting there that's putting this stuff on SoundCloud, we all got the same shot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the effort, it's the consistency, it's your team. It's just gonna be certain things. But it goes back to what he said. You gotta bring it. Cause shout out to Kevin Niles. Kevin Niles just stepped out the building. He was bringing people in. Hey, I think he can rap. I think he got a good podcast. I think they should be good at whatever they doing, because they somewhere in the building and we don't know nothing about it.
And it's not just you bringing it, but it's the fact that you have to bring yourself. It is literally your whole life now matters. And we're learning to the level of, do you work at Progressive? Well, you can't say this crazy stuff when you're at the store and someone videotape you, because now your life on Saturday, it matters what you're doing. So even more so for an artist of any type, it means now they don't have this other world. It means that they got to go live when they're at home in the bathroom pooping, just to make themselves currently relevant.
Exactly.
Because today's relevance is about complete openness.
And Kevin Lyles is not going to put out your videos. You're not going to send him to them to funnel them through him to make him do that work. It goes back to what he said. He said a very poignant point. It is up to the person. It's up to the person. But
I get that.
just building, and we're watching people watch other people talk. Like, I know, like, the access to the world has changed and all that, but I never, ever, and shout out to everybody that ever watched a video on this network, because I never even thought that I would do this. You see what I'm saying? And then when I did it, I was like, okay, I needed 2 people to watch. Because, what I need 3. 2's a company, and 3's a crowd. And I can just say I had a crowd of people watching.
A small crowd gathering.
Just you know what I'm saying, just for me. And it's just like it had to start somewhere. It had to have a backing, and just watching like a transition. Like put it to you like this. As a rapper, I never thought I have the ability. I never thought I could be Jay-Z. But as a podcaster, I think we can pull off what Gilly and them is doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever other settings that I'm watching of these podcasts, I think that bar, that it's like I know they're still doing big things, but it just seems more attainable. It's like, get some microphones, get this, sit down with some cool people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the game has changed. Not only, and as music died, this kind of got created. Y'all dig what I'm saying on that? Not even on timing. It's just like it was a weird way for people to just show support for people.
Yeah.
And shout out to the originators, like Joe Budden, Joe Rogan, you know what I'm saying, guys like that.
Everybody named Joe.
Yeah, that just paved the way and made it, you know what I'm saying, kind of a little bit, gave us kind of like a format, like a blueprint of how to do this. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all, the music industry is dead. It's so.
Well, no, it's something else now. The music industry is no longer
What we saw,
artists
what we knew
doing-
it to be.
Artists doing 1, 2, 3 on a form of media. Now the music industry is, I want you to write a song, but I need to see the relationship that inspired it. I need to see the breakup, and I need to see you run back to his car and do the full
Tony,
scene. And
do
then
you know what people
now
say?
The song will sell.
Do you know what
or
I
stream?
Do you know what I heard more than 5 people say on 5 different platforms? People are saying, and they're saying this. I heard this 3 times about one act in particular, Summer Walker. They said, and they were just talking, and they didn't say, "Oh, excuse me for saying this." They was like, "I like it better when she is having problems in her life because her music is fire. When she is good in her relationship, it's like the music suffers."
And we want to know in real time when it's happening. Artists always sang about love, and it was inspired by their love lives, but we didn't know the specific. If the song was named Mandy, we never knew who Mandy was. Now, if a song is named Mandy, it's a whole report about the goings on between this person and Mandy and what Mandy really did, and Mandy's other side.
Check this out.
So it becomes a whole thing off of, like I said, about
got
truth,
some?
your real life, your life.
I get what y'all saying, and I understand that a lot of people do that, but I can't say that for some of the top artists that's selling right now. Not all of
No.
them
I was just
do
saying that in general, but I'm not saying that I agree with
I
that.
don't think that is an avenue to keep your name relevant. But if you good, you good.
But
And
toxic sells, right?
toxic
It-
definitely
it's not
sells.
even about
Toxic,
all I'm saying
toxic.
It's about see, you're going
ahead.
on a specific side of point. I'm saying, think of the Taylor Swifts of the world. She's not known as being a toxic person at all, but everyone wants to know every single thing about everyone she's dating, everything that she's doing. In the same way they wanted to know about, let's say, for instance, Michael Jackson, but we only got a documentary about him doing something once every 10 years. Now we have the nightly post of Taylor Swift before she goes to bed. She's going to give us a message about how her day was. She may go live.
You check
Nicki
her.
Minaj-
You be
not-
checking her Twitter.
No, and I'm not talking about her
I'm just
specific-
playing with you. I'm playing.
So Nicki
He
Minaj.
was supposed to play along. He was supposed to play along.
The Doja Cats, anybody who is out now who is relevant, they have a regular presence on a platform that has nothing to do with their talent. Their
What about
talent
him?
is singing, but I need to see you, like I said, I need to see you at home taking a poop. And people are not happy anymore until they have that level of intimacy with people.
What about him?
Oh, you know what?
That's what I mean.
I wanted
That's
to
the
say,
old art
hey,
form.
I can't really say this, but and I'm really good friends with that person in the industry, so I can't talk bad. But it was off of that conversation though. But I will respect the anonymity of relationship.
But now, what Eminem think it is, his biggest moments in his career were when he was going through a public incident that was now playing out. The whole thing with him and Christina Aguilera in the beginning of his career, and the pop stars, like the war of that whole grouping, and then his whole Stan element of his career. Those were all public.
So here's the
things
thing.
that attached to his message. It gave reality to it, and then people want that.
Yeah, so here's the thing. We're talking about two different things right now. On one hand, yes, controversy definitely sells. Eminem is the king of controversy. There's not one album that Eminem has where he's not taking shots at somebody. So yes, controversy definitely sells, but I was feeding more so on the point to where you was talking about.
Hey,
You gotta be on Twitter. You gotta be taking a shit. You gotta be in people's faces 24/7. M ain't doing none of that.
Hey, M said you need to come tell me a new asshole. So remember that on with the song with Obi Trace? Yeah. So let's not like you're right. He did push that envelope early. Guys, this is.
He's not like a current art. I mean, I know
He just got a new album. He got a new
I'm
album.
not saying he's.
Oh,
not
we back
doing,
to see how shit come full circle.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's not doing work currently. I'm just saying he is not what people would consider. Oh, who's doing the? He's not. He doesn't have the. He doesn't have the baton in his hand currently. He ran with the baton and passed it off to a whole nother generation. Doesn't mean that he's still not running laps in the same thing. He's not the focus.
Okay,
He's
well
not
then
the
let's
focus.
talk about the focus right there, right now at this point in time when it comes to rap. Kendrick Lamar not doing that either.
But his counterpart of being Drake is literally the epitome.
Yeah,
of what
but
I'm saying.
that's not helping Kendrick Lamar sell albums.
No, but
Drake
see,
does what he does.
but-
Kendrick Lamar ain't out there like that.
Kendrick Lamar just hit this new highest of heights because he went into he opened up a portion of his life.
He always
That
been
was
Kendrick. Always been like they said. It was always the big three. Kendrick was like, it ain't no big three. It's
Yeah.
just me.
Got
But he
you.
was always at the top.
Yeah, Kendrick said the
Yeah.
big three.
Yeah.
exactly. So I'm not talking about.
All I'm just saying
I'm talking
is-
about Kendrick's. People who aren't into rap knew about Kendrick after the Drake thing. It wasn't back then when you knew. Of course, you knew him. You were part of the culture, but old white ladies knew about Kendrick now that he's become this idea of.
Oh,
a
white
diss
ladies
track.
ain't trying to hear him take a
Guys,
picture.
we
Take
gotta
a shit.
we go chop this in half.
All right.
If we don't come back to y'all, we don't. If we do, we do. It has been fun. We just gonna keep this going because this is a conversation that is gonna have a lot of layers to it. But we gonna keep just bringing that to y'all. It's been fun. It's time for Andrea and Steve's son to run. Remember, cleanliness travels like defense. Just be good to everybody around you. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
I don't really got much more to say. And Maggie Smith did die, so rest in peace to Maggie Smith.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, and
That's right. Maggie's.